At my daughter's 14th birthday, my mom mocked her in front of her 18 classmates, including the boy she liked. She called her wide-angled and told her to skip the cake. Everyone laughed. My dad and sister laughed the loudest. I didn't. I did this. The next day, they were in complete panic. It was supposed to be the best day of her life. Aurora turned 14. Her first real birthday party, the kind with fairy lights, classmates, and a dress we spent an entire week picking out. There were arguments, eye rolls, dramatic sighs in the fitting room, and one full-blown breakdown over sleeves. Totally normal. We didn't have a Pinterest perfect setup or anything, but I tried. Balloons, glitter banners, those fake glass plastic plates that always crack at the worst moment. We even got one of those rose gold tablecloths TikTok keeps pushing. Can't iron it. Just comes in two options, wrinkled or melted. The cake was a 3-tier monster from that overpriced bakery where everything tastes 20% better because they use fancy cursive on the box. I paid as much for it as I do to rent a car for the week, and I did it all for one reason. I just wanted her to feel good. For once, to feel beautiful, important, like the main character. We went back and forth on the dress. She wanted black. I campaigned for lavender. We settled on white embroidered with delicate straps. It looked perfect on her. No, really, it did. Of course, she stood in front of the mirror, pulling at her waist, inspecting herself from every angle like the mirror was a court and her body was on trial. I told her, "You look amazing." She gave me that teenage side eye. You know, the one teenagers have this talent for, inflating every perceived flaw, especially in the mirror. They think everyone else is effortlessly flawless, and they're the one defective unit that slipped through quality control. In reality, she looked radiant, but she didn't believe it. Not yet. One crisis down, cake countdown, 3 hours. She was pacing like she was up for an Oscar. Hair check, teeth check, nails check, teeth again. She cracked the closet open, peeked inside, and said, "What if he doesn't come?" I knew exactly who he was, so I shrugged. "Then we eat his slice of cake. Waste not." She laughed. Well, snorted. At 14, that counts as laughing. The guests started showing up around 6. Girls in glitter crop tops, boys in hoodies pulled so far over their heads they looked like monks with TikTok. One of them was Josh. She went silent the second she saw him, straightened up, tried to look like she wasn't trying to look like anything. He handed her a small box. "This is for you." She said, "Thanks." They both blushed and stared at the floor like it held the secrets of the universe. Honestly, peak teen rom-com. She lit up, like really lit up. And for a second, I forgot to worry. I just watched her glowing in her dress and thought, God, she's growing up fast. One day it's dolls and glitter glue, and the next it's mascara and real feelings. Then the cake came out. Lights off, applause. I was filming. Aurora looked like a human sparkler, just pure joy, until my mother opened her mouth. She said it just loud enough, light voice, big smile, like it was a compliment or a toast. "All right, make a wish, sweetheart, but maybe skip the cake. You're looking a little wide-angled lately. No use wishing to slim down if you eat 3 slices after." Silence for half a beat. I prayed, actually prayed, that no one would laugh, that someone, anyone, would say, "Jesus, Mom, that was cruel." But no. Her classmate Tara snorted first. Then my dad burst out laughing and shook his head like, "Classic grandma." One of the kids repeated it under their breath. Even Josh gave a little awkward laugh and looked at his shoes. And Aurora, her cheeks flushed red so fast it looked painful. She shot up from her chair. It screeched against the floor, and she was gone, just like that. And there I was, standing like an idiot, still holding the phone, still filming. The candles kept burning. No one moved. Then I heard someone clear their throat. My mom reached for the cake knife. "What?" she said. "It was a joke." Tara chimed in, "Oh, come on. She's not actually upset, right? It was just a line. You didn't say anything bad." My dad added, "She's not fat. It's just your genes, Jen." I didn't say a word, because sometimes words are like matches in the rain. Useless. I just stood there and wondered what kind of person thinks it's okay to say that to their granddaughter in front of her friends, in front of the boy she likes, and then laughs about it. Aurora locked herself in her room. No drama, no slammed door, just click. Quiet. Like even her exit had to be polite. I stood outside for a second, listening. Nothing. Then shuffle and a muffled sniff. I knocked. It's me. Silence. Can I come in? Pause. Yeah. She was curled up on the edge of her bed in that same white dress we spent a week fighting over. Shoulders tense, eyes red, arms wrapped around herself like she was trying to shrink down to nothing, fold into the pillows, and disappear. I sat down next to her, didn't say anything. Sometimes showing up is the best thing you can say. She wiped her nose. Am I actually fat? It was quiet but direct, and it hit like a gut punch, because that right there is the moment when your kid's belief in herself is hanging by a thread, and someone you trusted just handed her the scissors. I looked her in the eye. No, you're not fat. You have a normal, beautiful body, and it doesn't need anyone else's permission to exist. You don't owe them skinny. She dropped her gaze. I added, You're strong, smart, gorgeous. And Grandma, she's not exactly a certified expert on anything but guilt. She nodded just a little, but her breathing evened out. They all laughed, she whispered. Because laughing is easier than standing up and saying, hey, that's messed up. That doesn't make them right, and it sure as hell doesn't make you wrong. She buried her face in the pillow again. I'm not going back out there, she said. I can't. I won't. You don't have to, I said. This party's yours. They're the ones who don't belong. I'll take care of it. She didn't argue, just stayed curled up. I squeezed her shoulder, got up, and closed the door gently behind me. In the kitchen, my mom was whispering something to my dad, probably rehearsing her "it was just a joke" routine. Tara was scrolling through her phone like she hadn't just laughed in a child's face. Her son Kevin was poking at salad and trying to impress a girl in a fox print crop top. I walked in. No yelling, no drama, just facts. Mom, Dad, Tara, Kevin, thanks for coming. You can go now. They all looked at me like I just told them I was selling the house on Zillow mid-party. What? Mom scoffed. You can't be serious. Dead serious. Oh, come on, she said. I was just joking. People joke like that all the time. You used to. I'm not explaining to full-grown adults why humiliating a 14-year-old in front of her friends isn't comedy. My dad grumbled, We came here to celebrate, and now you're pulling this. The door's that way. Good night. Tara stood up all offended. Jen, you're seriously overreacting. I looked at her, calm, cold. You laughed first. She flinched. It was awkward. Then be awkward somewhere else. Take your kid and go. Kevin mumbled something about a phone call and disappeared like a cockroach under a fridge. The rest trailed after him. At the door, my mom turned and hissed, Hope you sleep well after ruining everything. I sleep fine. I closed the door. No slamming, no theatrics, just click. I walked back into the living room. It was museum quiet. The teens looked at me like I was about to announce a tornado warning. So, I said, I think we can make it through the rest of this party without any jokes about bodies or hormones. The cake's still here. Might as well eat it. A few laughs. Someone turned the music back on. Life slowly crept back into the room. One of the girls leaned over and asked, Is Aurora coming back? She'll come out when she's ready, I said. This is her night. Leave her a slice. I stepped outside onto the porch. Cool air. Finally. I sat down. Inside, I heard laughing again. Real laughing this time. Not the nervous, confused kind from earlier. The kind with life in it. She must have come out, or at least cracked the door. That was enough. I looked out at the lilac bush and thought, interesting. Every month I pay their mortgage gap. I cover the pills, the emergency expenses, the little things they pretend are temporary but never stop needing. Wouldn't want them thinking I'm a bad daughter after all. My mom gets all her shop supplies through my company. Gift wrap, cards, fancy oils, no markup, VIP delivery, because she's my mother. Tara sends me lists. Kevin's camp, Kevin's cleats, Kevin's everything. And I send the money. No questions, because it's family, right? And then they came into my house, sat at my table, and laughed in my daughter's face. Even Kevin, that kid I helped buy a laptop for last Christmas. He laughed too. And I just sat there thinking, what's left here that qualifies as family? A shared last name? Some dusty old stories that I'd rather forget? This wasn't an accident. It was a pattern. I used to be the target. Now it's her. No more. No money. No discounts. No free rides. No. You understand, right? Because if someone laughs when your kid is hurting, they're not family. They're just dependents with matching DNA. I woke up earlier than I wanted to. The house was quiet. Not cozy quiet, just that heavy gray kind. Not from the weather either. More like the kind that settles into your bones. Aurora was still asleep. I'd checked on her earlier, blanket up to her chin, face calm. That was enough for now. I made coffee, sat down, opened my phone. Instant regret. Mom, of course you did what you wanted, as always. Not surprised. Tara, voice message, 1 minute 47 seconds. Didn't even hit play. I could guess. Drama queen, humiliated us, poor Kevin. And the grand finale? You've torn the family apart from someone who can't even pull off a scrambled egg without emotional support. Dad, you ruined everything again. And I just sat there with my coffee, reading it all, realizing they didn't get it. Or worse, they got it and chose not to, which frankly would be on brand. When I was 12, my mom smiled in front of a room full of kids and said, "Smile, Jenny. You look like you're at a funeral, not your own birthday. Although with that dress, fair point." It was a joke, always in quotes, always with a smirk, always for an audience. The guests laughed. I did too. Then I hid in the bathroom until someone came to tell me it was cake time. That wasn't a one-off. That was the system. Tara was the favorite. Pretty, bubbly, the family's little sunbeam. I was the understudy, the spare, Tara 2.0, in case the original broke. Everything I did was measured against her. Look at how Tara carries herself. She doesn't slouch, doesn't stuff her face, her skin, glowing. Hair like a shampoo commercial. Tara has friends. You're just in your books again. What kind of teenage girl does that? Every attempt to be myself got run through the fixer-upper filter, like I came with a manufacturing defect and Mom was still trying to return me. I graduated from the University of Arizona. Not summa cum anything, no awards, just graduated, on scholarships, side jobs, no help, no fanfare. Then I got into logistics, worked my way up. Now I manage procurement for a company with over 200 stores nationwide. If someone runs out of soap packaging in Portland or gift boxes in Chicago, that's my problem. I make good money, not private jet money, but steady, reliable. I've got my own home, a padded savings account, solid insurance, and a better than decent credit score. All the things my mom used to say were a bit ambitious for someone like me because, and I quote, "You've always had your head in the clouds." My ex-husband Mike was supposed to be at Aurora's party, but the night before he ended up in the ER with a fever pushing 104. Not COVID, just a virus. He called, apologized. I believe he meant it. We split up 3 years ago. No screaming, no court battles, it just fizzled. He was a decent dad and a painfully average husband. I got tired of being his wife, his rock, and the emotional thermostat of the house. We co-parent fine. He sees Aurora, takes her to tutoring, movies, lunch. He's not perfect, but he's not the villain either. Just a guy. And honestly, he wouldn't have laughed last night. But when I left him, my parents said, "We knew you wouldn't keep a man. With your personality, it was only a matter of time." I pay their mortgage. Not the full thing, just enough to keep the bank from gently suggesting they find a box with wheels. Every month, no reminders, no thank you. I cover meds, utility bills, the mom signed up for massage expenses, dad's blood pressure pills. I don't ask questions. I just send the money. Mom's little boutique, the one with the baskets, soaps, dried lavender, and those door wreaths that shed glitter like a bad prom dress. It runs on supplies from my company. Officially, she has other vendors. Unofficially, I'm the one who bails her out when she runs out of ribbon or boxes or patience. Rush orders, discount pricing, logistics favors, because you're her daughter. Tara, she's always freelancing. Translation. Sometimes working, mostly complaining. When her water got shut off, I paid it. When Kevin needed a new laptop, I bought it. When summer camp was more expensive than she thought, I covered it. Because, as Mom says, you're the reliable one. We count on you. So they did. For years. Not because I wanted to help, but because not helping came with guilt. Because family. And now they're texting me about how I'm a disgrace, how I've destroyed the family, how I've betrayed my mother. And I sit there, sipping cold coffee, reading all this, thinking, who even are you to me? People who laughed while my daughter shrank into herself? People who treat cruelty as entertainment and kindness as a character flaw? Yeah, no. I opened my banking app, canceled the mortgage autopay. Dad's blood pressure? He can manage it with whatever he's got left. Mom's shop supplies. Full price now. Net 30 terms. No exceptions. Tara can call social services or get a job. I don't owe anyone anything. Not anymore. And you know what? Turns out no fits me just fine. Fits. First came the hints, then the guilt trips, then the full-blown manipulation. Mom texted, "You forgot the mortgage payment. I'm sure it's just an oversight." The next day, "Jennifer, the bank is calling. Do you even realize what you're doing?" Dad kept it simple. "Are you kidding me?" Tara naturally went full drama mode. "You screwed everyone. Mom's freaking out. Kevin's camp is falling apart. My laptop's dead. And you're just silent." And Mom's shop. Word got around. Someone I know saw it in her Instagram stories. Orders weren't getting filled, deliveries were late, and her signature packaging disappeared completely. She wasn't getting special treatment anymore, because now she was just another client, not the manager's mom. But all that background noise was annoying, predictable, until Friday. That's when Aurora came home from school looking wrecked, eyes red, face tight. She dropped her backpack, sank into the couch, and said nothing, just curled up into the cushions. That same cold crawled up my spine, the one from the birthday, only worse. I sat next to her. "Aurora, what happened?" She was quiet for a long time. Then, "Grandma and Aunt Tara came to school." I froze. "They what?" "They told the front office they just wanted to apologize, said you'd understand if I talked to you." I already knew where this was going, but I still had to hear it. She wiped her nose, then said it. "They asked how I was. Then they started in on you. Said you overreacted, that you always do, that you ruined the family, that you're selfish, that you betrayed them, that now they can't afford groceries and it's your fault." My hands curled into fists, but I stayed quiet. "They said," her voice cracked, "that you're mentally unstable, that I should know that by now, and that all of this, everything that happened, was really my fault. Because if I hadn't run off like some hysterical baby who couldn't take a joke, none of this would have happened. And that it's my job to talk to you, to make you see reason, to help you become a normal, loving daughter and sister again." She looked up at me, already crying. "And if I couldn't convince you, they said Grandma and Grandpa would lose their house, starve, freeze, and that I'd have to live with that guilt forever." She buried her face in her hands and sobbed. I pulled her into me tight, like I could squeeze all the poison words out of her with sheer warmth. "That," I whispered, "is a lie. A full-on, weaponized, calculated lie. Not exaggeration, not misunderstanding. A lie." She clung to me, still shaking. "But what if they really lose the house?" I pulled back and looked her in the eyes. "If they lose the house, it's because two fully functional adults built their lives around the idea that their daughter would always bail them out, even while they tore her down every chance they got. That's on them, not you, not me." "But what if they die?" she choked out. "They won't. They're not old. They're not helpless. They get pensions. They have a business. They're just used to living off someone else. And now they're panicking because the buffet is closed. They need to figure out how to live within their means, like grown-ups. And you're not their lifeline. You're a kid. You're not responsible for saving anyone. And neither am I." She hesitated, then said, "But they told me if I couldn't change your mind." I sat up straighter, my voice calm, cold. "They couldn't break me, so they came for you. They thought you'd fold, thought you were easier to push, easier to guilt." I took her hands in mine. "You're not to blame for running out that night. You're not to blame for people who call cruelty a joke. And you are definitely not to blame for grown adults who refuse to live without leeching off others. You deserve to feel safe, to be protected, and I'm protecting you the way no one ever protected me." I didn't scream, didn't call, didn't throw my phone across the room. I just sent one message, same to all three. No emojis, no explanation, no rage, just truth. "You approached my daughter. You targeted a child. You tried to convince her that she'd be responsible for your death. You're no longer part of our life. You don't get contact. You don't get justification. This is done." That's when the show began. Mom blew up my phone. "We just wanted to talk. She misunderstood. What did she even tell you? You can't believe her version. Please, let's talk like family." Dad, "Oh, so now you want your mother in the ground after everything we did for you our whole lives." Right. About 6 weeks later, Mom messaged again. "We got an official notice from the bank. If we don't make a payment in 30 days, foreclosure starts. Is that really what you want?" No, I didn't want that, but I wasn't paying another cent. By month 2, they were unraveling. I didn't hear it from them. I heard it from a lawyer one dad apparently consulted to ask, "Can we make our daughter keep paying since she already has?" Short answer, no, voluntary help doesn't become a legal obligation. I pictured him hearing that. And yeah, I smiled. Not out of cruelty, just bitter clarity. Month 3. Mom shut down her shop. Posted some flowery caption on Facebook. All good things must come to an end. Thank you to everyone who supported us. Due to family circumstances, we're closing our doors. Family circumstances equals me. No more emergency ribbon deliveries, no express shipping, no midnight favors. Because a shop can't run on love and vibes. It needs logistics and a supplier. And I'm not her supplier anymore, I'm a boundary. Kevin didn't go to camp. Tara sent me a letter, a real one, with postage, which somehow made it worse. You destroyed everything. He's just a kid. How do you sleep at night knowing you punished a child? Easy. I sleep next to a daughter no one gets to humiliate anymore. And I don't have to sit through whispers from my mother like, she's gaining weight, right? You see it too? I'm not a wallet, not a punching bag, not a safety net. I'm a mother. Aurora and I spent a weekend at a little cabin by the lake. No Wi-Fi, no noise, just stillness. One evening she asked me, "Mom, do you ever feel guilty?" I finished my tea, set the mug on the porch rail. Yeah, but not for what they think. I regret letting them speak to me for so long like I owed them something. I regret not walking away sooner. I regret that you ever had to see who they really are. She nodded, then said, "They'll never come near me again, right? Never. And I'm not the one who caused all this." I took her hand. Not even a little. Their choices, their consequences, your life, that's yours. And I'm right here, always. She smiled, soft, but this time for real. If you made it all the way here, thank you. I'm still not sure I did everything right. Maybe I should have said nothing. Maybe I should have left sooner. I'd really love to hear what you think. Would you have done the same in my place or something different? Maybe I missed something. Maybe, finally, I got it right. If this story meant something to you, hit subscribe.